Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and today we're checking out some Sheepsfoot bladed knives / modified Sheepsfoot knives, Warncliffe, those style blade shaped knives. And I'm not saying these are the best ones. These are just random ones that are actually really good. Now, this is the Main Street from KANSEPT, the KANSEPT Main Street. This also comes in a mini Main Street, which is really tiny, but this is the full size one. A knife that they did an extremely good job on. When it first came out, I know I was raving about it. A lot of other people were raving about it. It has 154 cm blade steel, great utilitarian blade shape. It's going to work great for everyday carry. Micarta scales, mine are the green micarta scales, but they do have other versions. Titanium milled pocket clip that works really well. T8 hardware all the way around. Great action. Good access to the thumb studs. The thumb studs are a little bit slippery, I noticed, but they're fine though. And it works great. In the hand, extremely comfortable. I can't express that enough. This is a very comfortable knife, and it's going to work in basically all directions. So as a work knife, fantastic choice. Let's get to the next one. Now the next one is one that recently came out, the Tauser K Mini. Now they originally had the regular Tauser K, which obviously is a bit bigger. Then they came out with a button lock version, the full size button lock version, and a mini button lock. Now, I like the Tauser K a lot. Runs on multi-row ceramic caged bearings and is an absolute guillotine. Works really good. Again, you have a very utilitarian blade shape. It's going to work really good for EDC, but I think this size is even better in my opinion. This size just works out so much better. The shape even feels better in my opinion in the hand. Very, very comfortable in the hand. You can choke up very comfortably. The large one, when you choke up, this is a big hump right here. So yes, you can choke up pretty comfortably right here, but even more so on the mini. Now the mini, I think both the button lock versions have 3V steel. And last night I sharpened my 3V steel and put a mirror edge on it, and whew, did it take a nasty sharp edge. Very sharp edge. 3V, in my opinion, does pretty good with a fine edge. So I expect it to get pretty good edge retention. 3V is an extremely tough steel, one of the toughest. It's usually used on fixed blades because of that reason. And its edge retention is similar to S30V. You could consider it's very similar to S30V. I think S30V would usually outcut it, but it's right around that range. So great steel for everyday carry, but it's not corrosion resistant, so you're going to have to worry about corrosion. So make sure you take care of it. But yeah, awesome knife. Fantastic action. The action is just insane on this. With that button lock, the whole deployment lands exactly where you want it. The detent is the exact amount of strength you'd want it. Has a reversible deep carry clip that is adjustable, so you can change positions and make it a little deeper if you want, just by changing the hole placements of your screws. But yeah, really cool knife, the Tauser K. Next, before the Tauser K came out, we had the Sheepdog, which, these two rival each other pretty good. They're both, especially with the mini, they're about the same exact size. There's a lot of similarities. Both are awesome knives though. And I'm going to pull up, this is my 10V version because there's so many different options with the Sheepdog. There's minis, there's non-flippers, there's XLs, there's all different types of materials, there's titanium frame lock versions. There are so many different options with the Sheepdog. My favorite one is the full-size non-flipper version. However, even the mini non-flipper version is awesome. It's a lot more compact, obviously, and a lot smaller. The flipper version of the mini, I'm not a big fan of, just because the flipper tab gets in the way, but once you take that flipper tab off, it's very, very comfortable. But either way, even with the flipper tab, it's still a damn good knife because of this blade shape. This blade shape just works so good for utilitarian tasks, slicing it is a cutting beast. I used to call it the cardboard destroyer because it passes through cardboard so easily because of its nice big broad blade. Now I think the geometry on the frame lock version is a little bit thicker than the liner lock version, but the one beautiful thing about the titanium frame lock version is that it feels very premium. It is very premium too, because it is a lot more expensive. You have a titanium milled pocket clip, steel lock bar insert, thick titanium slabs. Even the lock bar to disengage it is very comfortable, very smooth. The detent is very strong in a good way, and it has a quality premium feel to it, as it should, especially for the price. Now, the liner lock version doesn't have quite that feeling, but it has that, how can I put it? It's still a very working feel. Like, it feels like it's going to be a great work knife still. Very slicey, very comfortable in the hand. I love the micarta, especially on this one, on the 10V version. I'm going to link everything I can down in the description for you guys if you guys do want to check out prices and other information. But yeah, gotta love the Sheepdog, man. Killer knife. And I mean, there's a reason why there's so many different versions, because it's done so well. Next, and this is another Kaiser, might as well pop it out. We have the KIZER DOMIN Sheepsfoot. The original KIZER DOMIN was a drop point. Was it drop point? Yeah, drop point, clip point. But this is the hollow ground Sheepsfoot version, which, in my opinion, is the best one they made. Hands down the best one they made. It's a hollow grind, 154 cm blade steel, insane geometry. The handle is so neutral, so regardless if you're cutting towards yourself, away from yourself, cutting down, it's going to be comfortable. Very neutral and comfortable when you're using it. This one is the gray or black micarta. Complete fall shut action. The thumb studs land exactly where you want them to. Lots of jimping up the spine, so you have a lot of good traction, and since there's no flipper tab, you can get them nice and tight to that edge. Reversible deep carry clip that is adjustable again. But yeah, favorite DOMIN by far, and this is an extremely good work knife. If you're just looking for an amazing work knife, right there. Next, the KUBEY Royal. I adore the KUBEY Royal, the KUBEY KU321 D2 steel, G10 scale, steel liner lock, deep carry clip, and it is extremely fidgety. I mean, it's a fun knife to sit here and flick, and it is, very easy to flick and flip, and just very enjoyable. But aside from that, as a tool, as a knife, it's amazing. This handle is contoured and is the perfect thickness, depth, everything you want in a handle, and you can squeeze the life out of it, and it's comfortable. Reverse grips, it doesn't matter what grip it is, it's basically the same. And that's another thing I love about it, because it's just so neutral. It doesn't matter which position you're hanging on to it in, it's going to be comfortable. And then the blade shape just complements the handle so much. I mean, it is a fantastic user. So as a tool, amazing. Then it's not that big, so it's something you can easily carry, and it's not obnoxiously big, yet it works so good as a tool that it's going to function great, no matter, regardless of the task. And then, if you like action on a knife, it's also really, really good. They tune the detent so good on this. It's exactly the I wouldn't want it any weaker or any stronger, at least on my example. And yeah, every time I pick it up, it's like I start fidgeting with it, because it is enjoyable. But I also love using it. Next, the Brigand, the CIVIVI Brigand. I'm not positive, this might be discontinued, but I know there's still some available. I will link them down in the description, because this is another worker. This is an all-around great work knife. Shadow boxed scales, so you have the G10 shadow boxing the liner lock, D2 steel, flipper deployment, which the flipper tab is a very comfortable flipper tab, regardless if you're doing the push button or the light switch. It's going to work great. The blade geometry is really good. nice and thin behind the edge. You have a great choke up spot, so you can comfortably get close to the edge. Handles are very neutral, so regardless the direction you're going to cut in, it's going to be pretty comfortable. The flipper tab does get in the way for a reverse cut, but you'll be just fine. But the blade shape, again, you know, utilitarian, great EDC blade shape, great work knife blade shape, and it's just a fantastic knife. It's very simple, but it's a great worker. Let's get to the next one. Now this next one, we're kind of bringing it up a little bit because this one's kind of expensive, but I really, really like this knife. This is a great, fantastic knife. It is one, I mean, it feels premium. It does. It is a premium knife, but something about it just makes it feel like a tool. It feels like it needs and wants to be used. It's a knife that I think, you know, you can scratch up, you can kind of use on a job site and not really be upset. You know, it's got a beautiful stone wash over the whole thing. And in this case, because, sorry guys, I should have said the name, right? The OFFGRID Scorpion 2. Now, this one has the carbon fiber gold shred inlays that are extremely well done. I mean, you can see the seam because it's different materials, but it is well executed, well inlaid. You don't even barely feel the transition in between the titanium and the carbon fiber. M390 steel, titanium frame lock, very snappy detent in action, and then the ergos are so good. It is so comfortable in the hand, and you know, not only does it look the part, it looks like a great tool, but it functions like a great tool. It's one that it is large, so you know, it's not a small knife. Hopefully one day they'll make a mini version of this for people that don't want knives this big, because this is a full-size knife. But damn it, is it comfortable, and damn it, does it work good. Regardless what direction you're cutting in, it's going to work great. The access to the lock bar is really good, very smooth on the drop. And like I said, it feels like a knife you want to beat on, you want to be tough on, and you don't care. And you know, with every scratch, it'll just look better and better and better. You know, and it has that feeling to it. A really tool knife, like a knife that belongs in a toolbox, but it's premium though. So it does have a deep carry titanium clip that's inset with flat screws, but you don't even feel it because the handle's nice and big, so it kind of just pops out the back end. But yeah, I can't recommend this one enough. But like I said, it is expensive. Next, bringing it down a notch, at least in size, the Pena Mini Apache. This is a little 3-finger knife, but damn it, is it good. It is a premium knife. It's made by Riat. Front flipper only, but this front flipper is so well jimped, you can just rest your finger on it and just slide it, and it'll snap every time. The jimping's very grippy. Like, I'm not even using the front of my finger right now. I'm using the back, because it's so grippy. It just grips you, and you know, as soon as you pull on it, it flips. Yeah, fantastic, super snappy action for such a little compact knife. Like I said, it is only a 3-finger knife, M390 steel, bolster lock, fat carbon fiber, and it does have a steel lock bar insert. It's not going to be a hard-working knife or anything like that, but for just a basic little EDC cutting tool, you know, in premium quality fit, finish, and materials, this is an amazing little snappy knife. Next and last, the KIZER Critical Mini. Now, this is the thumb stud version. It originally came in a flipper only in 3V steel. Now, the new version is in 154 cm with thumb studs only. So the original one had only a flipper tab, which I really like this knife. I did use the hell out of it. 3V steel. I beat the heck out of it. Worked great. I do have a full review on this if you want to see it. Then they came out with the White Mountain Knives exclusive version, which has a hole deployment. But one of the problems is that the detent is tuned for the flipper tab, so it has a very strong detent. Now mine broke in over time, so mine's great now, but for a while there, the hole was very difficult to use because this detent was so strong. They tuned the detent on the thumb stud version perfectly. It is so good. This is by far the most fidgety one yet. And because it doesn't have the flipper tab, it's also the most comfortable. Extremely comfortable in the hand. And I take up the entire handle. So it's a great size. Any longer or any shorter, it wouldn't be perfect. And I can kind of spread out a little bit since I don't have the flipper tab. With the regular one, I could do the same thing, but I was kind of cramped because of the flipper tab a little bit, but I could still get by. Like, it was still very comfortable. But this just makes it even better. Access to the lock bar is perfect. Stupid smooth action. And as a tool, as a functioning tool, work knife, it is amazing. It's going to work in just about every direction. Not the most comfortable for the reverse, but you can definitely do it, without an issue. Utility cuts are going to be amazing. The geometry's good. It's not too thin though, but it's not too thick. And the geometry is just a good, hardworking blade geometry for this size and style knife. But there you guys go. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.